Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network, and welcome to the season finale for the Leave the Pack Super Series tonight. We are at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for 200 laps of action qualifying taking place right now, and it is going to be an intense battle to the finish in this season. Tracy Petter leads Kyle Terzak by just a couple points coming into tonight's race. And we will see all of that come to a close here tonight. We'll get the times up on the left side of our screen. Tracy Petter, top of the board with a 17.334. Everybody going to go straight into tonight's 200-lap main event. No last chance race, anything like that. As Zach Murphy completes his qualifying run, another driver out on track. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 machine comes around. He scrapes the wall on lap number 1. He's not going to get a lap there, but we'll see if he can get one on lap 2 here. That 28 machine looks a little bit out of shape down the back straightaway. He is the final car to take a time. It looks like lap 2 for Carter Hollingsworth, 20th quick and 18.03. So he will start from the 20th spot here this evening. Let's look at tonight's racetrack. The Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, one of the most famous tracks on iRacing as well as on the real-life side of things for these super late models. Obviously, the All-American 400 ran here every year. I've been fortunate enough to go to the last 2 All-American 400s, and they've been one heck of a show. We'll see if we can replicate that kind of a show here tonight. I think we can and will. It's going to be a long 200-lapper. Track temp a little bit cooler here tonight, so they should be able to save the tires a little bit longer. They do have a set of tires down pit road, so I'll be interested to see what that strategy looks like as well, as it is time to head down trackside to meet our starting lineup here this evening. Starting on the pole, did the first thing right here tonight. Tracy Petter came into this evening leading the point standings, and if he wants to hold on to it, he's going to have to do everything in his power, and he checked the first box by qualifying fastest, getting the most bonus points. Kyle Terzak going to get one less point as he qualifies in that second position. Your top two in the championship going to roll off on the front row here tonight, and they're going to be the show to watch all night long. Moving back to row number 2, Cody Dempster back with us. He was fastest at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, which I believe was his last start with the series. We'll see what Dempster can do starting from the 3rd spot here tonight. Brandon Elvis in the 54, good qualifying effort from him. He will start outside of row number 2. Connor Knowlton, the driver, 3rd in the point standings, trying to hold off Ryan Grable. He's going to roll off from the 5th position here tonight. He will have the trick chassis number 23 of Christian Peterson during the 6th spot to his outside. Ryan Grable in the number 22 machine, going to roll off from the 7th position here. He'll have Brandon Atkinson in the 15A to his outside. Zachary Will in the 04 going to roll off on the inside of row number 5. It is outside. Rounding at your top 10 starters, it's going to be Gavin Gardner in the 55. Inside of row number 6 is Justin Mulliken in the 51 in the 11th spot, and starting 12th is going to be Matt Vorndren in the 00. Back behind them in row number 7 on the inside lane is going to be James Pileski in the 93. He'll have Connor Lee in the 18 machine starting in the 14th spot to his outside. Anthony Romeo in the 88 machine going to start from the 15th spot with Zach Murphy in the 29 to his outside. Row number 9 on the inside lane is going to be Chris Shepard in the 19 machine with Adam Fulford Jr. starting 18th to his outside. Caleb Thompson in the 04 going to start from the 19th position with Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 in the 20th spot. Steven Cho in the 72, going to start from the 21st position here tonight, with Justin Coleman in the 14, starting 22nd to his outside. Rounding out our field out back, it's going to be Jeremiah Woods Jr. in the 222s, Logan Drumheller in the 5, and Clint Walker in the 02 machine. A couple cars not making the call as we get the 1 to go signal here. The field works their way down the front straightaway for the final time this season before we send them green. Folks, let me know who you were cheering for in the chat below. If you've got a pick in this field, I want to know before we go green. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the race as Tracy Petter and Kyle Terzak prepare to do battle for 200 laps for Leave the Pack Super Series Championship. Pace car working its way down into turns 3 and 4. We'll wait for the drop of the initial iRacing green flag here, and through the restart zone they go. Green is out, and we are underway and racing down into turns 1 and 2 here at Nashville. Through the first set of corners, Kyle Terzak strong on that outside lane. Everybody down the back straightaway cleanly the first time around. Your top 2 battle for that top spot. Out of turn number 4, leader of lap number 1 is going to be Tracy Petter by just a nose out in front of Kyle Terzak. So we work lap number 2 here. The outside lane at Fairgrounds can be easy to keep that momentum up, but early on you don't want to spend too much time up there because you can start to burn off those tires as Cody Dempster gets a little sideways out of turn number 4 that time. Kyle Terzak peeked ahead and actually led that lap as big time sideways was Dempster that time, almost lost the back end of that race car. He'll have Connor Knowlton peeking to his inside for the 3rd spot. As your top 2 still side by side up at the front. Kyle Terzak trying to drive around the outside of Tracy Petter and take that top spot early. It looks like he will do so down into turn number 3. For 3rd, Connor Knowlton going to get around Cody Dempster. Dempster going to fall in line in front of his teammate Brian Grable. Gavin Gardner and Brandon Elvis battle. That's for the 6th position on the racetrack. Gardner up 3 spots already, trying to get around Brandon Elvis here. Moving his way forward. He's found something here in these first 5 laps. As your field begins to settle down, you can see the gap that your front 2 have down the back straightaway. They definitely have a speed advantage, which we have seen for most of the season. Terzak and Petter have been the class of the field, but tonight, already a second out in front of Connor Knowlton here 7 laps in. Tracy Petter right there on the back bumper of Kyle Terzak, not letting him get away too far. The lap time is very similar between those two. You can see the lap times up front. That last time around, Terzak just a little bit quicker. Knowlton in that 3rd spot, about a 10th off the pace. But your top 2 still right there, bumper to bumper. Nobody getting a clear advantage just yet. We look back through our field. Here comes Connor Lee down to the inside of Matt Borndren. Borndren in the 00 tries to get the run up off the corner. That 18 machine's got a good drive off the bottom. And Nashville's one of the tracks that we see tend to be multi-grooved in the super late model. You can make both lanes work if your car is cooperating with you. Just got to keep the tires cool, as you do with any other racetrack. Is up front. Battle closing back down. Tracy Petter right there on the back bumper of Kyle Terzak. Petter, I think, may have a little bit better car in the long run as you see him close up to the back bumper. Kyle Terzak right there. About a car length in front. And if you're Terzak, you want to get as many bonus points as you can. If he can try to lead the most laps here tonight, that will be 3 extra bonus points. And that's all the gap is. 3 points coming into tonight separates Kyle Turzak and Tracy Petter. Right now, the advantage goes to Petter. But these top 2 are going to battle all race long. We'll have to keep an eye on the cars a little bit further back, how they may play into this battle, as we've got battle for the 4th spot. Brian Gravel looking underneath Cody Dempster. Dempster looks like he may be fighting that race car early on. Having troubles getting it to drive up off the corner. Gravel going to pass for the 4th position there. Connor Knowlton out in front of him. Running in the 3rd spot. Running pretty equal lap times to your top 3, or top 2, I should say, right now. But this is going to be a battle of attrition and keeping the car consistent. You don't want to charge too far ahead early and then burn off the tires and not have anything late. So it's going to be a long race, and who will be able to last the longest? Oh, sideways is Connor Knowlton. Good save there from the 2 machine. Just about went around. He pulled the battle box up right there, and Cody Dempster, Brian Gravel both going to go right by. But Connor Knowlton in the 2 machine had a big moment there out of 4. Looks like he might be fighting a little bit of a loose condition driving up off. You can see him down through the center of the corner, trying to keep as little wheel in that car as he can. Definitely seems to be a little free through the center. And the one thing about being free in the center, it usually doesn't fix itself. You got to come down and make an adjustment. Unfortunately for Knowlton, we really haven't had a caution or any opportunity for him to make an adjustment just yet. 20 laps in. That time around is Kyle Turzak still leads just barely over Tracy Petter. And the caution flag flies. Justin Mulliken in the 51 machine with trouble. There's damage on the front end of that race car, and he jumped back to the pits. That is not good for the driver of the number 51 machine. Let's look at what happened here. Off of 4, and I think, just got to the inside. And I think off of the corner right there, just maybe had a little bit better of a run than Matt Vorndren. Looked like he may have tried to check up, or Vorndren got in the wall and that did it, but we'll watch it on board with Justin Mulliken, but not the way that he wanted his night to go. Yeah, and it looked like as soon as Vorndren got in the wall, Mullet was so close right there and did not have any time to react. So tough break for Justin Mulliken. That'll put us under caution for the first time here tonight, and we do have some takers on pit road trying to make some adjustments here. A lot of time for them to better their race cars if they're not happy with it. You're limited to what you can do on pit road. You can make a couple adjustments to help with the balance of the race car. So under caution for the first time. Kyle Turzak, your race leader. Tracy Petter in the 2nd spot. I'm interested to see what happens on this restart. I'm also interested to see what lane Kyle Turzak's going to choose, because he got the lead on the outside that last start. But does he want to give up the bottom? They'll come back to the 1 to go this time around. No choose cone this week. And And it looks like Kyle Terzak will take the outside lane, so going to try to keep Tracy Petter pinned down to the bottom. We'll see what kind of restart Petter can get on the inside lane with Turk launching from the outside lane. The field doubled up once again. 20 cars on the lead lap. 19 cars on the lead lap. We get ready to send them back racing. Pace car is off. Kyle Terzak going to get into the restart zone here, and he will launch. Good start there from the outside lane. We're back racing here on lap 27. Good run for Kyle Terzak down into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Cody Dempster up on the outside lane, trying to get around Tracy Petter for the second spot. Dempster on the top, still trying to hold that position. Petter runs up a little bit through 1 and 2 that time, but I think Cody Dempster is still going to be able to hold the lane down the backstretch. Through turns 3 and 4, Cody Dempster loose on the top, got into the outside wall. What a save! But going to lose some time there, loses a position to B. Gravel. Ryan Grable into the third spot now in the 22 machine. He'll set his sights on Tracy Petter and Kyle Terzak. Now here comes Connor Knowlton trying to work his way back forward after that little slip up just before the caution flag came out. We're 30 laps in this time. We've got a battle back out front for our race lead. See the field down the back straightaway, how spread out they can get quickly. Nashville, a track where lap time fall off really means something. You're off on the setup, you're going to lose some time relatively quickly. Your top two right there, nose to tail. Brian Grable about 2 car lengths back in the 22 machine. Zachary Wilt looking to the inside of Zach Murphy. A little bit tough because there's 2 orange 04s out here. Sometimes you see cars with the same number, but same number and same color combination makes it a little bit tough, but that is actually Zachary Wilt in the 04 machine. Caleb Thompson, the other 04 running in the 16th spot right now, battling with James Pileski in the 93. These two continue to battle. Anthony Romeo back behind him, trying to sneak underneath Chris Shepard. Romeo to the bottom. Meanwhile, back up in front, Brandon Elvis looking on the back bumper of Cody Dempster for the 4th position. Elvis to the bottom, nearly contact there, down into turns 1 and 2. And while all this is happening, Kyle Terzak has got Tracy Petter right on his back bumper for the race lead. Go on board with our leader. That time around, Terzak just a little bit quicker than Tracy Petter. And back behind him, we've got door-to-door contact right there. Brandon Elvis to the inside of Cody Dempster. Dempster in the 24 machine trying to hold his ground on the top side, but looks like he may be fighting that race car. Brandon Elvis to the bottom. Up front, the battle for the race lead. Still very close. You can see on the left side of your screen right there, Tracy Petter all over the back bumper of Kyle Terzak. Now we've got a battle for the 5th position. Connor Knowlton trying to be the next driver to go around Cody Dempster in the 24. And Dempster does have a little bit of damage on the right front of that race car. We'll get a good look at it right here. Just a little bit crinkled in and maybe fighting a little bit of tightness through the center of the corner because of that. Very easy to make these cars aerotight as once again the 24 machine into the outside wall a little bit. And that's really going to affect the handling that time. You see the 24 pull up the racetrack. Back down in the line right there. I think trying to find a spot to get down. Dempster going to lose several positions back to the 9th position. As we look back up front, Kyle Terzak, Tracy Petter starting to get a little bit of separation to Brian Grable in the 22. Grable running in the 3rd spot. Running similar lap times to your top 2, just trying to take it easy, about a second back. He's got about 8/10 on Brandon Elvis. Doesn't want to push it too hard just yet. But Tracy Petter looking down to the inside lane, going to have to tuck back in line. Up front, you know that Tracy Petter is thinking about the bonus points. He has led a lap, so they're even there. They both have the bonus point for leading a lap, but he does not want Kyle Terzak to get out front and lead too many laps and lead the most laps in this race. So Petter trying to mind the gap. About 5 laps shy of halfway, and Kyle Terzak has led from the get-go after that early battle. But the 15 machine of Terzak starting to lose a little bit of drive up off the corner, it looks like. You see the 79 cut down and get a run up off the corner. Not quite enough to make the pass, but looks like he may have a little bit more center drive. That nice, tidy cut down line. It's Kyle Terzak on the exit of 4 that time. Under a car length. Petter is right there on the back bumper. Just ready to pounce if there's any mistake to be made from Terzak. Petter all over the back bumper. We're only 50 laps in. These two have got a battle like this for 150 more laps. And there's tire strategy thrown on top of all that. So this is going to be an intense race. Petter once again looks down to the inside lane. Can he get the drive off of 4? Not that time. Petter going to show his nose down into turns 1 and 2. That time he's definitely getting closer. He's putting the pressure on Kyle Terzak. But can Terzak hang on? Kyle Terzak up to the outside. Ooh, a little contact there. Terzak gets loose. They both regather it. But Brian Grable going to be right there on the back bumper now. He's going to close up tremendously. I think Tracy Petter may have some damage on the right front of that race car as well after that. You can see the right front just a little bit crinkled up right there. But now let's look and see. The lap times that last time around went in the favor of the 2 cars behind. And actually, even Brandon Elvis in the 4th spot. Look at that 54 machine. Fastest car on the racetrack. Keep an eye on Brandon Elvis. That was actually lap 54 too, so I think that may, you are superstitious. It may mean something for those 54 fans out there. Is up front. Tracy Petter tries to track down Kyle Terzak once again. The 22 of Brian Grable right there waiting in the wings as well. I think Petter at this moment may be just a little bit quicker than both of these two. But with that right front damage, it's going to be hard for him to pass Terzak and to keep that car up to speed later in the run. Terzak a little sideways off of 4 that time. You see him have to come back down to try and close off the run from Tracy Petter, because Petter's right there on the back bumper every corner. Terzak can't leave the door too far open, or Petter will fill the gap. You can see him right there looking to the inside. Here comes a run down into turns 1 and 2. Terzak has to go up the racetrack. A little bit more room given that time. But look at that. Kyle Terzak on the outside lane gets the big run up off of turns 1 and 2. And as soon as these two get side by side, look at the rear view. Brian Grable gets a little bit closer in that 22 machine. I'd keep an eye on that 22 car here. Looks like he's got some speed tonight. As Kyle Terzak on the outside lane, Tracy Petter down low. Battle for the race lead here. Petter on the inside lane. He had a run on the inside before, but Terzak so far has been able to use that outside lane to his advantage, but that 79 machine trying to hold him tight through the center of the corner. That time a little bit loose as Terzak up on the top. Now across the line, Tracy Petter, new leader on lap 62. Oh, and a crossover move there. Kyle Terzak to the inside, shoots underneath Tracy Petter, a little contact as well. And now Kyle Terzak going to be out front in the race lead. And Brian Grable will separate your top two. We're just past 60 laps in. That'll be something that we'll have to keep an eye on. Here comes Brian Grable in the 22 machine. He's got a big head of steam here. And with as much as Kyle Terzak has had to defend so far, that 22 machine of Grable could put some pressure on and may be able to make that pass. Still a long way to go up front. The lap times pretty even throughout your top 5. Pace is starting to drop off a little bit. And don't look now, but Brandon Elvis in that 54 machine really closing up that gap. He's almost within a second of your race leader, Kyle Terzak. As Terzak in the 15, with a little bit of breathing room now, starts to open up that gap. And things settle down up front. We come back to complete lap number 67. Terzak leads by about 0.3 of a second over Brian Grable. Grable right there, though, in the 22 machine. Terzak each lap just a little bit quicker than that 22. But obviously still a long time to go. If you're Brian Grable, you just want to stay close and keep as much track position as you can. Because you know that we probably aren't done with caution flags just yet. We're about 30 laps shy of halfway. Fuel in these cars, I think they can get about 130 laps if they really do a good job of saving early on. Tracy Petter in the 3rd spot. He's done a nice job of recovering from that slide through turns 1 and 2. But still in that 3rd position, he wants to track down Kyle Terzak and seal the deal on this championship. Right now, Terzak out front has led the most laps. But if Brian Grable can get up there and spoil the party for the 15 machine, that may change the way that this championship finishes out. So we'll have to keep an eye on the battle for the top 2 in points. All the way down to the wire. Not going to be settled until the checkered flag flies. Carter Hollingsworth to the inside of Justin Coleman. That is for the 10th position on the racetrack. Coleman on the outside got a big run as Anthony Romeo in the 88 machine got a little tight off the corner. Position's going to transfer right there. Ooh, a little contact between Romeo and Fulford. Everybody able to hang on. And that time by 75, 76 laps down for Kyle Terzak. The gap, about half a second. James Pileski down pit road in the 93 machine. The title sponsor for this race, the Finish Line Painting 200. Thank you to James for putting up some extra money for these guys to run for. Tough break for Pileski. I think he may be done early on in this one. We're about 20 laps shy of halfway now. 18 cars still on the lead lap. Kyle Terzak is creeping up on the back of the field here, about 3 seconds in front of him. 4 seconds in front of him. But he's just trying to be mindful of the gaps back behind. Got a battle for the 4th position heating up. Connor Knowlton has found his rhythm once again. He's closing in on Brandon Elvis. Elvis in the 54. Running that second groove through turns 3 and 4, trying to get the car to turn up off and a little sideways that time. That's going to allow Connor Knowlton to sneak to the bottom. Elvis not going to put up too much of a fight. He's going to try to cool those tires back down and find something a little bit later in this run. Adam Fulford, Anthony Romeo once again battle. That is for the 12th spot on the racetrack. Fulford to the inside. Ooh, big save from Justin Coleman right in front of him. Way to hang on to that one, Coleman. Turn 4 here at Nashville can definitely be treacherous, especially later in the race when the tires don't have as much grip and are a little bit hotter. You can see a lot of these drivers struggling for grip up off the corner. And that'll be interesting to me because if we get another caution flag, we've only had one so far. If we get another caution flag, do we see these drivers come down and take tires? Or do they stay out and try to wait until later on in the race? It'll be a tough decision to make. I think we'll see some guys stay out and try to gamble. You have to time the cautions right, which can be very tricky, especially in a race that's gone green for as long as tonight's has. Only one caution so far. 86 laps in. And up front, honestly, your top 3, the lap times are fairly even. Grable will be a little bit quicker than Terzak, will be a little bit quicker than Petter, will be quicker than both of them, and nobody's really able to gain a clear advantage. Although Terzak is trying to be very consistent in that 15 machine. Holds the top spot by about 5 car lengths over Brian Grable. About 10 laps shy of halfway. Terzak continues to hold the race lead. He's got Caleb Thompson up in front of him at risk of going one lap down here. We don't have any cars just one lap down, so he would be in position for the lucky dog if a caution were to come out. For that time, the lap time seeming to go a little bit more consistently in the direction of Kyle Terzak. Not by much, only by a couple hundredths per lap, but those do add up over time. Now some of that clean air that Kyle Terzak had going to be gone as he's got Caleb Thompson right up in front of him there. Might change things up for the way that the leader's car is handling, but Thompson going to move up to the outside in turns 3 and 4, and we've got a caution. Justin Coleman out of turn number 4. That's actually going down into turn number 1. Spun around the wrong way, and he moves that car back to pit road. He may be done for the evening after that one. Let's see what happened. The 14 up off of 4, and I think just got the wall and know where the Anthony Romeo really could have gone. As soon as somebody gets the wall up in front of you, it's just impossible to get that car slowed down in time. As it is officially pit stop time here. Kyle Terzak going to bring the 15 down pit road. And they will get tires, it looks like. Will we see anybody just get fuel and try to save the tires for later in the race? That is what I am curious about. Looks like right side's going up on everybody's race cars. I think everybody wants to be safe. And oh, look at that. Connor Knowlton in the 2 machine. Gets out of the pits in front of Kyle Terzak. He may not have taken tires right there. I'd be interested to see that 2 machines pit. Get an instant replay of the pit stop for the 2 machines, see if he took tires or not. I think he did. He was one of the cars that took tires. Just, yeah. Maybe a little bit better pit crew from the number 2 machine. He owes that pit crew right there a beer after tonight's race. They got the gas in the car way quicker than that 15 machine of Kyle Terzak's pit crew. So a position change up at the front, and oh, potential speeding penalty for Kyle Terzak in the 15 machine. He's dropping to the rear here. We're going to try to get an inside word real quick and see what exactly happened. And it looks like that is the confirmed report. Kyle Terzak speeding on pit road. And going to have to start from the rear here. We did have one driver not come to pit road, and that was Zachary Wilt. He's going to be in charge of this one. A little stack up off of turn number 4, but we're back racing. As Tracy Petter in the 79 machine with a big swerve to the bottom. Did not want to get stuck behind Zachary Wilt, who's on the older tires. Fighting with Tracy Petter for that second spot here. We'll have to keep an eye on Kyle Terzak trying to fight his way back through the field as Tracy Petter is through to the second spot. Now Brian Gravel going to try to get by Zachary Wilt. Wilt in the 0-4 doing a good job hanging on with those older tires. As now look at the Hornet's Nest that's back behind. Kyle Terzak in the 15. Cuts to the bottom to try and get underneath Cody Dempster right there. Dempster on that outside lane gets a good run up off, and at this stage in the race, very two groove racetrack we've got right here. Everybody able to make both lanes work. As you see Brandon Elvis rolling by on the bottom, but Connor Lee able to get that big run up off and keep Elvis close back to his door. That time by, Brandon Elvis going to be able to clear down the back straightaway. Kyle Terzak going to try to follow suit in the 15. Terzak back up into the top 10 with that move right there. He'll set his sights on Brandon Elvis in the 54. Up in front of him, Carter Hollingsworth to the inside of Zachary Wilt. Move Hollingsworth up into the top 5 for the first time this race. Nearly contact there. Big save from Zachary Wilt and big send from Kyle Terzak. I think he caught Brandon Elvis off guard a little bit right there, moving to the inside. Terzak trying to be as aggressive as he can, getting through the field up to the 8th position. He's got Christian Peterson, Matt Borndren, and Carter Hollingsworth up in front of him. Peterson on the outside lane. It's a big run down into 1, but Terzak going to have a lane to the inside. As up front, the battle for the lead starting to heat up. We're 5 laps, 6 laps past halfway. And Connor Knowlton continues to hold the race lead. Tracy Petter right back behind him, though. Keep an eye on that 79 machine. '28 of Carter Hollingsworth running in the 5th spot. He just ran his best lap of the race that last time around. Trying to keep that car underneath of him and in the right direction. Carter's been good at being there when it matters in these races this season. Got a couple top 10s. He's got Kyle Terzak now behind him, trying to close in and take that final spot in the top 5. And then it's a little ways up the road to Adam Fulford in the 71. That 71 machine has found some speed in this second half. To start off, he's staying right there with Tracy Petter, Brian Grable, Connor Knowlton, that top 4 group. Is now Kyle Terzak to the inside of Carter Hollingsworth. He's going to take that spot down through turns 3 and 4. Up front, looking at the lap times, Brian Grable, that was the quickest that last time around. Oh, and there's contact down the back straightaway. Matt Borndren, Brandon Elvis go around. And a huge one down the back straightaway. Christian Peterson involved as well. Connor Lee involved. A lot of front ends torn up in that one. Borndren even lost the rear end of that race car. Let's see how that happened. It looked like out of turn number 2, I think the 00 machine just got loose and there was nothing Brandon Elvis could have done. Or Christian Peterson, they were both right there. Not much really for them to do. We'll go on board with Peterson here, try and get his view of it. Man, you've seen it happening. And Peterson did have it mostly avoided, but Borndren unable to get that car slowed down, and then they slammed into the inside wall. Go on board with Connor Lee, see his incident, or his perspective of the incident. You see him wrecking right there. Just did not get it slowed down in time, and they came right down the racetrack as he was trying to go down the racetrack. Not a good situation for Connor Lee there. A couple cars going to be down pit road and collected in that one for sure. Under caution for the third time here tonight. We're going to double them back up. Connor Knowlton going to choose the outside lane. We'll see how that shakes out for him. That will leave Tracy Petter, Brian Grable, and Kyle Terzak lined up on the inside. Kyle Terzak up into the top 5 here. He's going to have to work his way forward. And I think he definitely has to finish in front of Tracy Petter here tonight if he wants a shot at the title. Right now, Petter runs second. The field working their way back through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is off. And we are going to be back racing here through the restart zone. Green flag is out one more time. Good start for the 2 of Connor Knowlton out front. He's going to be clear of Tracy Petter. Now Brian Grable has got Kyle Terzak looking to the inside for third. Terzak to the bottom. Brian Grable trying to hold his ground up top. Terzak pulls ahead in the 15. I think the 22 is going to be able to get right back down behind. He's got Brian Grable looking right there in the 71 machine. I don't think the 71 is going to be able to get a run to the inside. So now Kyle Terzak going to set his sights on Tracy Petter once again. He'll try to track him back down for the second spot. Connor Knowlton in the race lead, only 2/10 ahead of Tracy Petter as well. We've got 80 laps to go. Cody Dempster to the inside of Caleb Thompson for the 9th position. Up front, Connor Knowlton continues to hold this race lead, but they've got just over 75 laps to go here. Tracy Petter and Kyle Terzak run right there behind him. Connor Knowlton would love to get his first victory of the season in the season finale. Leading some laps right here. It looked like Oxford may have been heading towards his day, but things just did not work out in his favor. And ultimately had to settle for P2. This time by 75 to go. 75 to go for Connor Knowlton, who's trying to hold off a hard-charging Tracy Petter and Kyle Terzak as Petter gets a little bit of contact right there. Terzak shuffles him off the bottom, and he's going to take that second spot away. Move Kyle Terzak up to the second position. Gets around Tracy Petter right there. And now can Tracy Petter get back to him and make an effort to try to stop Terzak from winning the championship? Brian Grable in the 22 all over the back bumper of Tracy Petter now. for the third position. Petter at risk of losing another spot here as he watches Kyle Terzak pull away and close in on Connor Knowlton in the number 2. You can see the run that the 22 machine gets up off the corner. Just a little bit better than Tracy Petter in the 79. Grable trying to be patient. Still 70 laps to go. You don't have to fight too hard just yet. But in case this goes green, you don't want to let Kyle Terzak get too far out in front. And as I say that, caution flag flies. Brandon Elvis in the 54 looped around in turn number 2. Let's see what happened there. This is down into 1. Oh, it looked like contact from the 24 of Cody Dempster. And around went the 54. Try and get a better look at that from the drone. And just the smallest nudge right there up off the corner sent the 54 for a slide. And that'll put us under caution for the 4th time here tonight. So 4th caution flag. And this will be interesting because I'm curious to see how Connor Knowlton's going to launch right here. Will he launch on the outside and give Terzak the bottom? Or will he launch from the top side? We'll have to see. They get the 2-to-go signal there. Not quite ready to send them back green. While we've got this moment to breathe in the action, I'm going to take a quick step to the fridge and grab a drink of water before we cap things off here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. You guys are welcome to do the same. We'll be right back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, about to go back green flag racing. As Connor Knowlton going to launch from that outside lane. Gets into the restart zone. A good launch there from the number 2 machine. And now, Tracy Petter going to be right there back behind Kyle Terzak in the 15 for the 2nd spot. Down into turn number 3, the 79 all over the back bumper of Terzak. Does he repay the favor? Remember that contact that we saw earlier on? Is now Connor Knowlton going to try to defend? Is Brian Grable in the 22 machine having a little bit of connection issues right there? Hoping he doesn't get sent to the pits from it. As the 15 of Kyle Terzak all over the back bumper of Connor Knowlton, and here comes a dive to the bottom. Knowlton on the outside lane trying to hold him tight, and there's contact. Around goes Connor Knowlton and spins off of 4. Kyle Terzak in the 15 machine made contact right there for the race lead, and around goes Connor Knowlton. And the caution flag flies. There was a battle right there for the lead. Watch the 15 of Terzak get to the inside right here. Then up off the corner, just comes up a little bit and grabs the 2. Terzak slams into the inside wall. As that will put us back under yellow. Connor Knowlton in the 2 machine went from hero to 0 right there out of turn number 4. He's got a lot of front end damage on that race car. Gonna try to get it fixed down pit road. Brandon Elvis also back down pit road. And Tracy Petter in the number 79 machine. Gonna retain, or gonna take over the race lead after that one. 15 to Terzak. Gonna come to pit road. And I think he's gonna try to get some of that damage fixed. He's gonna have to drive back through the field here. After a tough break for both of those 2 drivers, not what either of them wanted. Terzak's racing for the championship. Knowlton obviously wanted the win. All around bad situation for both drivers involved. It's Tracy Petter going to take over the race lead, and it's really looking like he's going to have a good shot at the points championship here tonight. Unless Terzak can maybe drive back through the field. He has enough time. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, but it's really going to take a lot for him to get up to Tracy Petter, especially if Petter can hold on to this race lead. He does have that 22 of Brian Grable on his back bumper. Remember, before that last caution came out, Grable in the 22 was putting some pressure on the 79 of Petter, so we'll have to see what happens here on this last restart. Or this next restart, I should say. Probably won't be the last. But the lights back off. Kyle Terzak able to get back out of the pits, did not lose a lap. We're going to send him back green. Pace car is off. And Tracy Petter going to bring us back through the restart zone. Good launch from the 79. And we are back racing down into turn number 1. Through the first set of corners, down the back straightaway they go. Your top 3 are Tracy Petter, Brian Grable, Gavin Gardner now up onto the podium in the 55 machine, trying to work his way forward. That's Adam Fulford and Carter Hollingsworth as well, who round out our top 5. As Tracy Petter now tries to cap off this season with a victory along with that championship. Comes a move down into turn number 1. Zach Wilt thought about 3 wide there. Had to think better of it, as Carter Hollingsworth was already looking to the inside of Adam Fulford for the 4th spot. Fulford on the outside lane, trying to get the run up off the corner. He's doing a good job of maintaining right now, as Hollingsworth not able to pull in front just yet. And here comes Zach Wilt to the bottom now. Gonna force Carter Hollingsworth to that outside lane. Hollingsworth back out of the top 5. And Zach Wilt trying to move forward, and there's contact. Zach Wilt into the 71 of Adam Fulford. And the caution flag gonna come back out. You can see the 04 machine being a little aggressive right there. And got into the back bumper of Adam Fulford and sent him for a little slide right there. Let's see what happened one more time. This is going down into 1 the lap before. Then you can see the 04 machine look underneath Carter Hollingsworth here, and at this point Hollingsworth has to back out. Zach Wilt right here down into 1 and 2. I think just came up the track a little bit too much, let it float up a little bit too high, and tag the 71 of Fulford, and that was enough to put the caution flag back out. And it looks like, I think Zach Wilt going to go to the rear after that one. Tough break for the 0-4 machine. These guys are on a claim system, so it is integrity based. They can claim the caution if they choose. They don't choose to and they're at fault, they are faced with a penalty after the race. We'll see what happens here. Another restart. Tracy Petter going to choose that inside lane. We're going to be back green inside of 50 laps to go, so it's crunch time here. Keep an eye on that 15 machine of Kyle Turzak in the 10th spot. He's going to be on a mission back forward trying to win this championship. We'll watch what happens here. Tracy Petter bringing them back into turns 3 and 4. Going to fire him into the restart zone. Good launch that time, and we are back underway once again. Tracy Petter clears Brian Grable down into turns 1 and 2. Gavin Gardner going to battle with Cody Dempster for the third spot. And there's a couple cars spinning back behind. Zach Murphy spins down into turn number 3. And that's another quick caution flag. Zach Murphy back around. Gets it back rolling. But it looked like a huge stack up out of turn number 2. Let's watch right here. Watch top of your screen. The 55 and the 24 make contact. And as soon as that happens, several cars go for a slide in the 29 machine. Trying to get that car saved. He was kind of bouncing back and forth and just clipped the front bumper of the 54 Brandon Elvis, and around he went. We'll watch on board with Zach Murphy to see exactly what he saw. Right there, you can see everybody get into the brakes, and Murphy almost had it saved until that contact right there just barely sent him around. And Anthony Romeo nowhere to go as well in the 88 machine. So another quick caution flag. I can tell you who that's really helping out. Kyle Turzak, he's gaining positions. Not really having to do much. He's up to the 8th spot here. But the laps are running out. Gonna have to move forward quickly when the green flag comes back out. We'll be sending them green this time. Inside of 45 to go. 45 to go for Tracy Petter. Trying to go for win number 6 on the year. Or on the season, I should say. He won last week after Kyle Turzak ran out of fuel coming to the white flag. And this time by, the field going to get the 1 to go signal. We'll try it again. Now just 13 cars on the lead lap. Several drivers are already out of this one, unfortunately. We'll see what happens on this restart. 22 of Grable Hasn't been able to get too good of a start alongside the 79 of Petter. We'll see if he can try and time him up a little bit better right here. He's now going to have Cody Dempster in the 24-2s inside. So let's see what happens here through the restart zone once again. Better start from Grable that time. Tracy Petter just barely going to be able to clear down into turn number 1. Went up the racetrack that time. Brian Grable going to have Cody Dempster looking to his inside down into turn number 3. I think Grable going to try to shut the door and focus back on Tracy Petter for that top spot. Dempster once again drives back to the bottom, but Brian Grable going to have too strong of a run on that outside lane. Now the question is, can Brian Grable close that gap to Cody Dempster? As now Kyle Terzak battles Carter Hollingsworth for the 5th spot. Hollingsworth up top, Terzak down low. And Terzak going to take that spot down into turn number 3. So move Kyle Terzak back up to the top 5. Ooh, and Caleb Thompson into the wall down the front stretch. Loses a couple spots there, but he kept it in the right direction. Good save from the 0-4. As that last time around, Cody Dempster in the 24 machine, fastest lap of the race. Still has some speed left. But the 22 of Brian Grable also with his fastest lap of the race right there that last time around, so the lap time's starting to improve. Tracy Petter leads, but Brian Grable in the 22 machine starting to put some laps together here. That last time around, Petter just a little bit quicker, but the gap only a couple tenths down the back straightaway. It only takes one mistake from that 79 machine. If we look further back, Zachary Wilton, the 0-4, trying to work his way back forward to the inside of Chris Shepard there. And don't look now, but here comes Kyle Terzak. There's the gap to Cody Dempster. Terzak back up to that 4th position. He's on a mission here inside of 40 to go. Trying to get back up to that lead group and contest with Tracy Petter for the championship. That last time by, Cody Dempster just a little bit quicker than both Brian Grable and Tracy Petter. 24 machines definitely got a lot of speed left, but can he get around the 22 of Brian Grable? Can he track down the 79 of Tracy Petter? Still over 30 laps to go. 79 machine leads by a couple car lengths. And the lap times just keep going back and forth. Neither driver able to gain a clear advantage. Remember, this could all look different if we get a caution flag and Kyle Terzak gets placed back up with this front group of 4. Tracy Petter this time will see the 30 lap to go mark, 30 to go across the line this time. Lap time starting to go more in the direction of Tracy Petter as that gap gets a little bit bigger that time. But your top 3 all just so close on time. No one really able to pull a clear advantage. That gap just stays right around the 0.2 of a second mark. That time Grable got a little bit loose, and actually back behind him, Cody Dempster tagged the wall. He'll lose some time out of 4. That time around, it looks like Tracy Petter was the fastest car on the racetrack. He's got 26 to go at the line this time. Can Brian Grable or Cody Dempster track him down? They've got enough time to do it. They've just got to find something in those cars. But it's going to have to be a lot because Petter in that 79 machine has kept very consistent all race long. To go across the stripe. Petter continues to add to that race lead, almost half a second now. Cody Dempster in the 24 machine starting to fall back a little bit from Brian Grable. Zach Murphy in the 29 gets around Adam Fulford there. As for the 8th spot, Fulford tries to cross back over, but he's not going to be able to. And things are getting spread out here. As there's your field down into turns 3 and 4. Tracy Petter this time going to come back to 21 laps to go. Your field definitely getting pretty spread out now. 12 cars on the lead lap. Laps to go. The race leader, Tracy Petter, still holds a comfortable advantage over Brian Grable. Grable, I just don't think has enough drive up off that corner to track down Tracy Petter. Petter able to keep that car planted and carry his momentum. You can see him cutting down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Driving over the bumps flat. That's the key to keeping your speed here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. You got to get through the bumps in turns 1 and 2. You see the 79 once again cut down to the bottom. $15 laps to go across the stripe this time. And only a caution now, it looks like, could stop the 79 machine. Just putting together lap times here a little bit quicker. And each lap, those laps add up, and the gap is now 1 second to Brian Grable. Tracy Petter trying to bring it home. Back behind him, Brian Grable still got a comfortable advantage over Cody Dempster. I'm interested to see if Kyle Terzak will be able to get up to the back bumper of Cody Dempster. Terzak looks a little bit quicker than the 24 machine at this moment. With 11 to go, want to see if he can close that gap. And this is the point in the race where you're fighting something with your race car, it's even more noticeable and it's even worse. Zach closing that gap to Cody Dempster. I think he is going to be able to get there and make that pass here in these final couple laps. Zachary Wilt also right there in the back bumper of Gavin Gardner. Remember, Wilt stayed out when everybody came to pit road and got those tires, so his tires are a little bit fresher than everybody else's, but we'll see if it's enough to make his way into the top 5. 6 to go for Tracy Petter, who is now checked out. 1.5 seconds a gap. Like I said, only thing that's going to keep him from winning this race now is a caution flag, or if he did not put enough gas in it. And now, this time around, 5 laps to go. Cody Dempster looks like he's maybe going to be able to hang on to that 3rd spot, but Kyle Terzak's going to make it close here at the line. And out front, Tracy Petter in the 79 machine, trying to waltz his way off into the sunset. I guess the sun has already set here at Nashville Fairgrounds, but walk off into the sunset and pick up win number 6 on the season. This time around, popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go for the 79 of Tracy Petter. 2 more laps here in the Leave the Pack Super Series season. Tracy Petter has had a dominant season. 5 wins so far. 7 top 10 finishes, or top 5 finishes. And down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Tracy Petter, your 2026 Leave the Pack Super Series champion, gonna win here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in the season finale. And the 79 machine picks up the victory in dominating fashion, wins by 1.5 seconds across the line. He had to earn that one. There was some chaos up in front of him. Got the race lead after the contact with Connor Knowlton and Kyle Terzak. And Tracy Petter is going to pick up the victory in the season finale. Let's try and grab a word here from our top 3 finishers. We are going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers. We're going to take a quick sip away, though, to finalize the points, make sure everything's accurate before we say anything too final. But be back in just one moment here on the WD Broadcasting Network. All right, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Gonna grab a word from our top 3 finishers if we can. We'll get our results up on screen for you guys as well. We're going to start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Cody Dempster. We'll see if we can't get him up in the broadcast booth. Cody Dempster, 3rd place finisher here this evening. Hard-fought 3rd place finish. Had a little bit of trouble early on, but brought the 24 machine back up into the 3rd position and had to hold off Terzak there at the end, but got the job done, P3.
Yeah, it was a up and down and up and down and down and up night. Kind of put myself in a hole, to be 100% honest with you. Rolled off the trailer good and just got the right rear a little pissed off and hot, and then it just kept getting worse and worse, and decided to just kind of call it good after I'd gotten the fence pretty good one time off of 4. Was just kind of putzing around waiting for a caution to come out to come down and get it fixed, get tires. Didn't end up getting all of it fixed the first time, so we came back down the second time, then had a couple run-ins on accident with a couple folks, and then just kind of plugged our way forward and thought we were pretty decent, and then stabbed the fence again off of 4 and knocked the toe out of it again and held on for 3rd.
Yeah, it's so easy to do that here too. I actually did it in the All-American 400 a couple years ago. I think while in the lead, maybe smacked the wall out of 4, spun down the front stretch. Very easy to let that wall get you, but still rebounded very nicely here tonight. Got the 3rd place finish. In a rare start with the LTP Super Series. How's it feel to get a 3rd place finish against this field of cars just jumping in?
It feels pretty good. I wish we could have won it. I felt really, really good in practice. Knew our raw speed with qualifying was going to be a little rough. Just didn't quite have it figured out to be on Terzak's and Petter's level for qualifying, but I knew race pace. But I kind of dug myself a hole and had to dig out of it. Just didn't have enough time at the end, but it feels really good to show up once in a blue moon and run halfway worth a damn. So I'm not going to be too mad about it at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely can't hang your head about P3 here in the season finale. But before I let you go, Cody, who do you have to thank for podium finish in the last race of the season?
You guys, you yourself and you for putting this deal on. I know I show up once in a blue moon, but I appreciate it. You let me come and do it, putting on a broadcast, doing a good show. All the Caudal Chassis guys for bringing us a good car, and everyone for showing up and making it a good season. Had a good, strong field to start the race. Wish we had more finish, but nothing too terrible.
Yeah, I think tonight ended up being not too bad for the season finale. I thought things could have gotten hectic, but I think it stayed moderately tame. So congratulations to you, Cody, on a 3rd place run here tonight, and hopefully we can see you back soon on the WD Broadcasting Network.
Thank you.
All right, that was your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Now let's talk to our 2nd place finisher. We'll see if we can't get him up in the broadcast booth. Up in the broadcast booth, 2nd place finisher here tonight. Close, but not quite enough, Brian Grable. We had a car, but just don't think we had quite enough for Petter there at the end. He kind of checked out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, the car was absolutely rolling. You know, early on in that last 50 lap, green flag run we had there till the end, I was really about even a little bit faster. And then about 20 laps left in the run, I was just kind of fighting tight off, just getting the gas, and it would turn, but right where you need it to just hold the bottom, it would want to shove. And maybe it was just, I was trying to push it too hard, but I was just trying to lay it all out on the table, and I didn't want to go away and say I didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, you definitely left it all on the table. 2nd place finish, I think, tied for your best run of the season, or your best run of the season, hands down. So a good run, nothing to hang your head about for sure. And you and I had talked earlier today that you were leading the bonus for the least incidents this season, and you said you had a gut feeling about maybe getting involved in an accident here tonight. I told you to get rid of it, and look where we are. No incidents here tonight. And
no incidents tonight. We kept it clean. Now, there was a couple times when, Knowlton kind of lost it in front of me at one point, and I was like, oh, God, don't slide up, and he kept it down, and then Petter and Terzak and Knowlton kind of got all crossed up in front of me, and that was a big moment, but we kept it clean, and we just really focused. I just focused on keeping the car clean because I knew we had a good car, but just wasn't enough right there at the end. But I mean, it's hard to beat Petter, man. I mean, him and Terzak have absolutely put on a show, and I'm really glad that they came out and joined the league that you put on. You know, I've been here since I believe the first LTP league, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the
Yep.
first. And just to have a set of guys like that you know run Sora and run in big races, and the amount of knowledge they have with the super, it really makes you push yourself more to run them down. And I've really been grateful for the challenge this year. I've learned a lot in these 12 races that we've had, and I'm really excited for what we have next time we run the supers.
Yeah, we definitely built a lot this season. I think learned a lot. You and I both, even on the official side of things, we've learned a lot about the super. And like you said, being able to test yourself against people with high skill levels, and being in a field like this where it really does mean something to get a good top 5, top 10 finish at the end of the day. So great run for you here tonight, Gravel. Second place finish. Who do you have to thank for a podium finish to round out the season?
Well, obviously, I want to thank you first for putting this on. Like I just said, it's been an awesome experience this year. I only missed one race, and really, really grateful for what you've had. You have a great thing going, and I'm excited to see where it goes and be a part of the future of LTP. I want to give a big shout out to Trevor Edwards this week. You know, he was a big help. He helped me kind of figure out what I need to do as we get into the run, and he really helped me. He helped me a bunch with the setup this week. I want to thank Caudle Chassis, Oliver Motorsports, Champs Auto Care, Napa Auto Parts, Scrub Out Cancer, WD Broadcast Network, and you know I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been a part of this, like the Elvises, great group of people. I want to thank James Pileski also for sponsoring this race. Just everybody that's hand in this season. I just want to give a thank you to because it was absolutely awesome. I'm glad it ended in a good way, and it's been fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun season. It was fun watching you, Gravel, mix it up with these guys all season long. Had a good car. I just don't think we had the result to show it at the end of the day, but still, P4 in the points. So great run for you. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alrighty, folks, that was Brian Gravel in the number 22 machine. Now to grab a word from our winner and champion here in Leave the Pack Super Series by 10 points. 10 points at the end of the day. Tracy Petter up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
Alrighty, well, P1 here tonight. Winner in the final race of the season. 6 wins on the season, and you're the champion, my friend. How do you feel?
Man, I got lucky. I felt like I had a better car than Turk, but I don't know what happened. I still haven't looked back. When he got into my right rear, I got some pretty good damage on that right front. After that, I knew I didn't have it for him. I didn't even have the pace for Connor or Gravel in there ahead of me. My car was hurting bad. Connor gifted me with whatever happened between those two. So I'm just happy some things went my way.
Yeah, a lot of times it seems like you get in a position like that and it seems like everything can go wrong, and it maybe started to when Terzak got around you, was leading those laps up front, and then like you said, that contact where maybe you got a little damage, it started to go wrong, but then went back your way towards the end of the race, and you were able to stick with it, hang on, manage the race. What was that mindset shift like when that happened? The contact between you and Terzak, you made that pass. There was a little contact after the fact. How do you readjust and keep your mind on the big picture?
Really just trying to tell myself not to get mad. I could feel myself wanting to get red hot, just angry behind the car, and I just knew if I'd get angry, I'd start making mistakes, and who knows if the race was gonna go wicked green and there'd be a green flag stop. So I wanted to make sure I'd stay as close to them as possible and just keep doing as consistent laps as I could, even though I knew I had damage and probably didn't have the car if they stayed clean and kept their nose clean. Just needed a little luck, and I got it.
Yeah, sometimes luck is the one thing that you need, and you didn't have luck all season. You had a lot of speed all season, and tonight, the one night you needed luck, fortunately, you were able to get it, and you are the champion here in the Lead the Pack Super Series. So congratulations to you. Tonight paid, I think, an extra $100 as well, so extra congratulations to you on that. But before I let you go, Tracy, who else do you have to thank for an amazing season?
Thanks for putting these events on. One of the better leagues, I'd say. It was pretty clean the whole season. Had a couple races where it's a couple caution fests, but other than that, I mean, the races were a lot of fun. Had a blast racing everybody. And shout out to the EPI guys.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Tracy, on your championship here in the Leave the Pack Super Series, and hopefully we can see you back soon and Leave the Pack at some point in the near future.
Yeah, I definitely plan to do some more races.
Alrighty, well, congratulations one more time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was our champion in the Leave the Pack Super Series. 6 wins this season for Tracy Petter, including the season finale here tonight. So congratulations to everybody on the 79 team, everybody cheering for him at home. But now it's time to look at our final finishing results, as we had, looks like 12 cars finish on the lead lap. Tracy Petter in the lead, Brian Gravel second, Cody Dempster third, Kyle Turzak fourth, Gavin Gardner comes home in the 5th spot, Zachary Wilt 6th, Carter Hollingsworth 7th, Zach Murphy 8th, Adam Fulford Jr. in the 9th spot. Connor Knowlton rounds out the top 10. Chris Shepard 11th. Caleb Thompson comes home 12th. Final car on the lead lap. Justin Mulliken 13th. Brandon Elvis 14th. Anthony Romeo 15th. Christian Peterson 16th. Matt Bordrin 17th. Connor Lee 18th. Justin Coleman 19th. James Pileski rounds out the top 20. And Stephen Choate in the 72 machine rounds out our field. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Leave the Pack Super Series Season 2 season finale here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It's been a fun season. We had quite a few good races, I'd say. Put on some good shows, and these guys were a lot of fun to watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back with Leave the Pack here in a couple of weeks. We've got some exciting announcements coming up, so stay tuned on the WD Broadcasting Network Facebook page for those, as well as stay tuned for a really big announcement on the WD Broadcasting Network Facebook page as far as the real life side of thing goes. So I will talk to you guys on the next stream. I don't know when it'll be. I think we may take some time off aside from our Monday night stuff with the All-Star Sim Racing League, I do believe. But until the next time, I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Hit that red subscribe button if you guys haven't already. We'll see you guys next time here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Peace out.